Welcome back on stage one after a really short break and an inspiring technical panel discussion. So I'm looking forward as well for the next presentation. So we are honored now to announce two speakers. One, Shahad Makiza, Key Account Manager, Data and Analytics at London Stock Exchange Group. And ladies first, I want to introduce Shahad as first speaker. So Shahad is a woman, she believes in growing by learning every day. Her passion identifying new business opportunities and driving sales processes to add value to LSG prospect and clients. She is inspired by her motto, hoping to move big ideas to big results. So we are looking forward to your presentation. And then let me introduce Steffen. Steffen was the moderator in the last streams as well. And he's an experienced leader in the financial industry with his successful careers in building up and growing businesses. And he has been our partner for years, and we always appreciate working with him. It's so always a pleasure. Shahad and Steffen, it's an honor to present you now, and it's your stage, and I think you will announce everything else and with your discussion. Have a great show.
Well, thank you, Anja, for your introduction, and hope you can see my presentation. And first of all, on behalf of the whole audience, I wish you a happy birthday, Anja, and you and the teams of TRG and Financial.com make this event really successful. Thanks a lot to you. So, you know both, and now Shahad starts with our presentation.
Yes, thanks for having me, and happy birthday, Anja, also from my side. As well, everyone knows what the subject here now is about, the status quo and the fact that ESG has made a big impact in the last 2 years is something everybody knows. Now, the approach and the urgency for many financial firms has changed. Today, more than 70% of all investment professionals rely on sustainable investment strategies, and 48% use ESG KPIs and criteria for their investment decisions. ESG also represents one of the most impactful alternative data that is published by the company itself and is challenged by the flow of news and also controversies, of course. Our why, as a perspective from Refinitiv or the London Stock Exchange, obviously also there are many reasons why data providers like us should be focusing and are already focusing on ESG. And what we see is the transfer of wealth, for example, changes within the generation, and the focus on digitalization, a risk and alpha, meaning reducing investment risk and also creating investment value. Regulations, they're changing within the industry and even in the world, and they have a big, big impact on how we see ESG and how we use the data. And we are trying to set new quality levels, in the standards high, changing the standards as they are now by being really on a high level of that ESG data that we see as the backbone of quality in the data itself. And the last point or our why also is obviously the more data we have, the more detailed and tailored we can invest, recommend, and also consult our clients and anyone interested. What our approach is to that we're using to really take your ideas and make it a bigger project and a new approach also in this thing is obviously also using the right delivery types, APIs and tools for whoever wants to use ESG data on his own individual way, or maybe in a team, maybe the whole enterprise solutions are more interesting. We want to make the sustainable investments with ESG data controllable. This also means that we're allowing on-demand portfolio structuring in real time to operationalize KPIs. We're using also mapping mechanisms to adapt rating systems to those of our clients. They're all integrated with Quant. We are very much focusing on transparency and audit options, as well as we are trying to help assess risk and those new opportunities that we mentioned that have came into this whole ESG world, and that companies are now more and more focusing on, or even have to focus on, actually, that are very, very critical areas to drive performance. In addition to all that, independent fund level scores will be highlighting the sustainability of particular investment funds. And what that in the end means, or what really is important, if we move to the next slide, and to get back to also the motto that Anja also mentioned, is on the next slide. We can see that, Steffen, if you can.
Sorry.
That's what Anja mentioned. That's where I wanted to make the big move, is how do we move those big ideas to big results? Because in the end, what's really important is the content that we are offering and how we're using that content. This means now what is very unique in the market is that as a global provider of sustainable investments, we want to keep up the pace and we want to become better every day. And we do that by providing more than 450 metrics. We have over 70 analytics. Our data includes 7,000 global companies in more than 210 countries. 75,000 sources for real-time ESG signals are also included. And our history goes back to 2002, which leads to a history that is almost 20 years old, or that can go 20 years backwards. And I'm mentioning all of that because we're talking about how to move big ideas to big results. We offer that data, and all of those metrics and analytics can be consumed through different delivery types, as mentioned, through the APIs and different tools. And we have options to access and to analyze the data through our partners and different tools. And one of them obviously is now financial.com, our very, very close and long-term partner, including Steffen, my speaker and host somehow for this whole event. I'm moving forward to you to explain what is possible with that data and your tools.
Well, thank you very much. In the second part of our lecture, I want to share, well, some case studies with you. And first of all, we integrate the Refinitiv ESG data really quickly into the individual processes of our clients via APIs and tools. We generate investment ideas for our clients day by day. These solutions, are up and running. We are currently on the way to implement customized versions into the internal processes of two of the largest banking and insurance companies in the German market. And therefore, I decided to share some white label pictures. But if you want to have a dedicated presentation within the next days, please contact my colleagues at the virtual booth. Now we begin with an existing portfolio or watch list or fund constituent list, and we'll start an individual ESG analysis with up to 450 Refinitiv ESG data points. You just select a couple of ESG data points. You can see it here. The result of the analysis can be displayed by scores, by ratings, and by simple traffic lights. Very intuitive. The step 2 could be a generation or optimization of a sustainable portfolio across regions and sectors along the 450 Refinitiv ESG data points for the best individual ESG score. And you can combine all these factors. Example, just show me the most sustainable companies in North America regarding alcohol production in the consumer product industry. You just click on it, very simple, and you get an answer means the selection list for alcohol production in the North American region with heat maps, with lists. You can sort them individually. Very simple to use. The next use case is decarbonize your portfolio. And the ESG data class carbon is currently most frequently used. In order to make a personal contribution to the climate protection, many investors want to minimize their personal carbon footprints. But one problem we especially face on the local markets is to rule out advisor liabilities as much as possible. The investor can determine his optimal carbon strategy by himself. That means that the robo can, but doesn't necessarily tell you exactly in what instrument you have to invest. That means the retail user can do an individual selection by himself, very intuitive. With that approach, you avoid advisor liability. You just click on it, probably on the left-hand side, biggest carbon reducer. And here's your result list. Very easy, biggest carbon reducers, producers. You can sort it by individual criteria, and it's you can have a choice by your own in what company you personally, individually want to invest. Next is the next use case shows an even more individual approach. My ESG advisors enables the user to compile an individual ESG score intuitively. That means individual combination of up to 450, 500 Refinitiv ESG data points can be carried out simply by using sliders. Here you see an example of a widget-based front end with on-demand result for an index list. And as a result, you define your very individual ESG investment style that you are able to apply to any further comparison that lead to an optimal ESG investment. And it definitely generates activity in your portfolio, as well as in the portfolios of your clients. And the next page shows, once you have made a shortlist, a pre-selection has been created. The remaining candidates can be analyzed in detail. You can slice and dice, go to sub-criteria like the controversy score, etc. We have this 20 years of historical data, and that's what I said, up to 500 ESG data points, and you have your very specific investment decision. What I can see, we are probably, this was, let's say a very short overview about what we can do with the ESG data and our solution business. It seems to be we are pretty good in time. So first of all, I thank you for following us on DKF 2021. And if you have further questions, please visit us at our booth, or you have questions raised by the audience or by Anja.
Hi. Okay.
Welcome back, Anja.
Thanks.
We are straightforward.
Really pretty straightforward and really interesting. And ESG is the topic of this event, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
So as usual, as yesterday, often the people are a bit shy to ask questions, but listening to your presentation, what is your target group you want to see or you want to tackle with this kind of solution?
Should I just answer with everyone? I believe, honestly, I believe everyone is somehow affected. If it's on a private and the private, let's say, sector or even corporates and banks and the financial industry itself. Obviously, for the financial industry, the data ESG is very, very relevant and is becoming even more important. Now, everyone is not only looking whether to take ESG into consideration, but what kind of data, what do they need? A lot of clients on our sites invest also in raw data, take that advantage and make a lot of the weighting and evaluation on their own. So by saying everyone, I do think that it is relevant for everyone attending at least the fair or is looking to consult their clients in a very long-term matter, because this is going to last for longer than a week, and it already has been lasting for a longer time period. So this is really the combination of financial.com and us. Maybe this is a bit the focus here is really looking to add value to a certain setup that a company is having at the moment, increase that value with data that we're having and building a front end or a solution that can be used for almost every department in the company, or should be used in every department of the company, to really narrow it down a little bit to getting the data from one source, not having too many connections and implementations, and have one big overview, and to keep that bigger picture, honestly.
Okay.
And from my side, for the most of, or let's say both big actual projects are focused to, it's like it is to generate activity in client portfolios. These are, let's say, as I said, for instance, large online brokers. It's kind of a combined project, asking how to analyze these portfolios and how can we drive activity even in portfolios they are, let's say, not dead, but haven't seen changes for a long time. And you see that the sustainable investment topics, every day on newspapers, on chats, and wherever. So we drive this or we generate this activity. That's what I said, with very easy to use tools. Investors are heavily interested in. You just have to click, to drag and drop, and then you get fantastic investment ideas. And this is something what is really driving our business, our current business.
Okay.
Probably what's also very important in that combination is also, just as a reminder for everyone listening, is that it doesn't have to be the setup that we presented now. That's why we said it's probably more or less our approach, but it's your idea. So everyone interested in only a small factor, a small data set, maybe just a couple of data points, a certain delivery type, we can manage all of that. So we are more or less also a bit relying on the ideas that our clients or the prospects, everyone interested, has, and the possibilities that we bring to the table. So in the end, everything really is possible. It just depends on what the client needs. And we obviously have experience in that term. So if someone doesn't have that many ideas, we will be happy to present ours and then see what fits the best for the construct of the company.
Okay, and there's a question coming in. How would you estimate the quality of your CO2 emissions data?
Carbon.
Carbon.
Yeah. I mean, I cannot say that we are the best in that quality, but we have so many data points to combine. Also, it's not just about one sector or one data point or one ESG score, because the combination of all of that data makes the difference in the end. So if someone's asking about the quality, probably the best thing would be to send out our raw data points and to have a look at them, or to get an extract and use it within their tools or systems in form of a trial if needed. And I think that's when we can really discuss the value and the output of what we're bringing into the table.
Okay.
So feel free to contact us.
Yeah.
And you easily, as I said, you easily can combine all these 500 data points with your own data points. We have clients, they ask, hey, can I, let's say not greenwashing, but how can I, combine all this criteria to make another one, to a very individual ESG criteria that is possible. And clients are very interested in that kind of business.
Okay, so perfect landing into
Yeah.
10 seconds left. We say thank you for this inspiring discussion. It was so much energy in it, and thanks to be our guest today on this stage.
And thank you for having us.
Nice birthday, somehow.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Have a nice day.
Have a nice day too. See you on stage.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.